Well, hello everyone. Hope everyone is well. Happy November. This year has been quite the year and it's almost over. There's 2 months left. Kind of makes you wonder where the time goes. Been one heck of a year. I heard the music go off and I was like, who was that? Yeah, 2121 can't get here soon enough. Hello Murphy, hello Bombasso. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And welcome to those watching and flying on Murph's Discord server. Recently, well, hey Scotland, how you doing? Friday, the new episode of Star Wars' The Mandalorian was released, and over the last day or so, well, actually, just yesterday, I watched the developer, basically the behind-the-scenes docu-series that they made of how they made season 1, and they used it was really amazing how they went about making it. So I figured, why not go back in history at Star Wars, and where they did a lot of filming for the original Star Wars in 1970 and the late 70s, and they filmed a lot of desert scenes in Tunisia. So we're flying in Tunisia. We're gonna look for basically the search for old Ben Kenobi in the Dune Sea, although we're not going to look too awfully hard. But you're more than welcome along. We're listening to some lovely Tchaikovsky. Trying to figure out which tab I want to open. So we're starting off at DTTG. I can only guess on the pronunciation. Gabes Matmata Airport. And then we're heading to Tozeur Nefta DTTZ for our first landing of the day. Then it's a short hop up to Gafsa. Then from there we make our way back to the Mediterranean Sea to Sfax Thyna. And before I put everyone to sleep, I will change the music, but I thought, you know what? Having a little bit of Christmas theme to the beginning of it, since Halloween is now over. We had our Halloween thrills and fear, yeah, that's good enough. On Friday, with an epic flight in Romania, specifically Transylvania, with Murphy and crew. Now we will do our own thing, and since it's cold, it's going to be nice and warm here in Tunisia. So, I know it looks like a livery. I wasn't expecting to be in a livery, if I'm honest, because the livery system is broken. Roger that, we're going to be on the ground for a minute. So, I apologize if it breaks things. It wasn't my intent. I didn't intend to be in a livery. But the livery system's a little bit broken right now. So, oops. So we're just looking up the chart right at the second. Very simple runway. Like we have one friend on the tarmac already. Got someone inbound, it looks like. But we'll go ahead and get this airplane started, why not? So, mixture goes to full. That's the fuel shutoff is open. We set the trim. Master switches go on. Rotating beacon goes on. A little bit of fuel. Thanks for the follow, Big Ears 60. It's much appreciated, my friend. Very welcome along. So we've primed it a little bit. And we lean out the window and say, clear prop. And while it started, we make sure that the RPMs are between 9 and 10. So at 900 and 1,000, then we lean the mixture just a hair. Hey, how you doing, Big Ears? Welcome, welcome. Go ahead and turn the nav lights and the taxi lights on. Go ahead and slap our avionics on. Make sure that our transponder is squawking. Check radios, check gauges, make sure things are in the green. Sure our altimeter is properly set. See the temperatures in the green, waiting for the pressure to come up. That's just the autopilot. Okay, we're going to... Uh-oh. Hey, there we go. As we have a TBM come in, I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't see what the wind's doing. That's not what I wanted. Apparently they don't have an ATIS, so we'll close that window out. We'll look around for a windsock. See what the winds say. Barring that, we'll just fly off the end of this runway. Yeah, I am not seeing a I'm not seeing a windsock. So we'll just go with the flow. Hope that works for everyone. It is mid-afternoon, but good evening to you. So, I'm going to go ahead and release the parking brake. I just set the parking brake. Excuse me. Aha. So, we increase this throttle just enough to break the momentum of sitting still. Seems War Hamster is lurking today. Still welcome along. Roger that. How you doing, Allison? Hope you're well. And good evening to you. We'll make sure everyone's good to go before we depart. An awfully stunted runway, but that's okay. It's paved, so it's got that going for it. We'll go ahead and taxi into position and hold. Put the bodies in the back. Damn thing keeps sitting on its tail. Well, you gotta remember, even when loading those things up, you gotta worry. Check your CG. Important. Okay, mixture forward. We'll circle the area for a bit, let people get in the air and get on the tarmac. There's 40, airspeed's alive, 50, 1 notch of flaps, 60 knots. And we're off to the races. And 300 feet, flaps are going up. Go ahead and make a left turn, left pattern. We look at the scenery below. East USA, correct. Looks absolutely beautiful. Running the big and bold weather preset from SoFly, which has more than paid for itself, in my opinion, in sheer beauty alone. The livery is by Sir Blackulot, although the current livery system is broken at the minute. I inadvertently selected this for the flight, although I'm happy too. I just hope that it doesn't break people's experience, because that wouldn't be fair and it wouldn't be kind. So we're gonna arm altitude mode, and we're gonna set it for 2,500 feet. Arm nav mode. And nav mode, vertical speed 1, 2, 3, 500 foot per minute. We're going to go ahead and turn on course. Very nice formation flying going on behind me. I hope everyone has had a good weekend. Been nice and quiet. Can use all the peace and quiet I can get for the next week or so, because it's going to be a real interesting week. And I can't say that I'm looking forward to it no matter what happens. Alright, we are at cruise altitude, so we're going to set cruise power. Sure everything's in the good. I'm going to break off to the north there. Don't need the landing light on right now. Save the bulb, save some electricity on the system. Almost like you've got your rudder jammed left. Oh, the silly generic models. Couple of flyers out this way. Very nice flying out in front. And I can't stop just being in awe of the reflections and the lighting and everything. It's just amazing. It's yet to fail to amaze me. Oh, let's see. I'll change this. You're good. Yet to try flying the TBM myself. Yeah. Well, at least we know that Carenado's aware of it and they're working on it. I just wish Asobo hadn't broken the livery system. Because now I kind of feel like a doofus. I try to run default liveries just because I don't like breaking other people's games, sim experiences and whatnot. But this time I tried, and it's not my fault. Which, in and of itself, is a classic Star Wars line. It's not my fault. So I couldn't find any specific locations for the old Star Wars filming areas, spots and sets and whatnot, because a lot of them are still there. Some of them are just covered by the dunes and the sand. But I thought, what a fun way to still kind of celebrate Halloween, because Halloween's being costumes. A popular one is something Star Wars related. So, day after, still Halloween-ish connected. And the fact that I just watched The Mandalorian and they did an amazing job. And some of what I've learned about how they filmed the Mandalorian is because if you've watched the show, it really does look like they went to a lot of different locations. But they didn't, which fascinates me. But they used video game technology to do a lot of the things, do a lot of the filming and a lot of the set work, because they used a lot of CG, but instead of a lot of green screen or blue screen, they had this round set that was fairly good size with LED screens all around it and on top, which it just blew my mind. And they used video game technology because they needed to render things in 3D and do it real time. And the best way to do that in the modern age is between virtual reality and video game. So they used a lot of video game tech for a television show. Television. And it's just, it blew my mind, and it was so neat to learn that. So I just thought I'd share that little tidbit. If you've got Disney Plus or access to Disney Plus and you can watch The Mandalorian, watch the docu-series on it. This is like Disney Gallery, Star Wars The Mandalorian or something like that. It's worth watching if you're someone that likes to understand the how-to or how they did it kind of thing. Hey, everyone's in the wind. How you doing? Sorry I missed playing the Division earlier. You caught me before I even woke up for the day, and then I had to get breakfast, and by the time I was getting ready to go, it was a little close to streaming, and you were off by then. So I apologize, my friend. Perhaps another of these nights we can get together with Murph and a fourth, and we can take to the streets of New York. There's Allison in the TBM. It's a very important thing to do. Although I can't say that I've ever been much for tea myself. I don't even drink coffee. But taking care of one's spouse is important and a responsible thing to do. Gotta beat down faces, man. Yeah, it's it can be real challenging. You really got to watch what level you are and what level the area is. I have a tendency to really canvass an area of all the collectibles, side missions, and counters before I move on to the next one, so that I have either an equal or better advantage over the main story missions. But it's a lot of fun. Ah, gotcha. Hey, Dougal. Hey, Warhamster has reached Manhattan. Awesome. So we'll be able to hook up. I believe Murphy has reached Manhattan. Dougal, how you doing? Thanks for swinging by. We're flying in Tunisia, looking for the old Ben Kenobi. We might have evaded the Empire, but us and our Cessnas and TBMs and whatnot, maybe we'll find him. Yep, we're in Tunisia. We flew out of Delta Tango Tango Golf, flying en route to Delta Tango Tango Zulu. Kind of in the mid to southern part of Tunisia. Hey Brian, how you doing? Feel like I missed saying hello to you earlier, but I'm saying hello now. So I think it evens out. Somewhere around here is what the filmmakers dubbed Star Wars Canyon. Mostly because that's where they did a lot of filming in the 1977 film. Oh, we've got ways to go. Have some beautiful flying out here. today. So yeah, I thought, yeah, let's visit some Star Wars related areas. East USA. It seems to have been fine for me. Um, can't say as it made it feel any different on my end. Then again, I haven't messed with it much since the hotfix, and outside from what Thursday, I can't say as I've nailed down or noticed any major issues. Ooh. Well, welcome along, Mrs. Two-Tone. Glad to have you here. I'm sure that you have a fantastic instructor by your side. Murph rarely leads us astray. Murph gets us lost less than I do. So you are in good hands. And now Murphy just, in addition to the kitchen, needs to build an add-on for a second flight office for Mrs. Two-Tone. Or to condense the current space and have a dual cockpit set up. The house projects multiply. Anticipated runway is 27. Mostly because I don't know what the winds are currently and I'm not running the real weather. Right on. We might have to go that way. I'm always up for exploring Ireland. VFR flying has never been so good, and it's just thrilling. See, I have this nasty habit is I hear things and I have to look, as especially given the current climate that I am living in, I have a tendency to keep my head on a swivel, as the saying goes. I'm sure there are those of you that understands what that means. So if it seems as though I get distracted by something, I apologize. It's just I'm trying to still keep somewhat aware of my surroundings. Real nice flying today by everyone. Well done. I really need a bigger desk. And some better cable management. We have our second group gathered back here. Hello, hello. And nice, very nice. Ailerons into the Wind, aka Stuart, has found a very nice set of settings for the honeycomb yoke, and they make it feel fantastic. I may have miscalculated the time, but at the same time I think I'm okay with some night flying, so long as the final airport actually has runway lighting. This supposes an important consideration. See what Navigraph has to say about that. It does have lighting, so that's excellent. So we should be good to go for some night flying. Yeah. No, we're not going to do that again. That was a good experience for the Halloween, but I think that's going to be it for the spooky, dark, oh no, we can't see in the dark landing. So it appears, according to Navigraph, it appears that all runways are lit tonight. So long as everyone is game, we are go for some night flying, which I always look forward to. I don't get to do it enough, and I think it's, especially checking out the new night lighting from that the latest patch has provided us. I think that would be worthwhile to check out. Well, hello. I see you are keeping up with international relations. You're just missing a Polaroid camera. And why did my mixture seem to go in? Perhaps I was mistaken. Weird. I hadn't realized that these were inland seas on the old Maparoni. We got a fast mover over here. I'll be on course. I should hope so. That's interesting. Really enjoying these big and bold clouds. Two more months. Maybe we can go back to normal. It's a lofty hope. Gotta have something. So I'm going to guess either Cap 10 or Extra 300. Maybe even the pits. New Cap 10. Baguette power. That's fair. They're definitely in the advanced category of aerobatic aircraft. You can't mess around with those too much. They'll bite you. Roger that. And there's Allison and the Fabulous Flying Machine. got a real formation going on. Just about. Hey, Merlin Flyer, how you doing? I only wish that there was non-copyright. I only wish that there was some copyright-free Star Wars music, and I'd be playing that. Got someone coming in hot. You know, I could have really been silly and had the stream title in the area and flown around in an X-wing, and I could have been super silly, but I that's not me. I can do silly when I want to. I just didn't want to do silly. Being silly has a time and a place, and just didn't feel like it. Plus, I'm not sure about the quality of those uploads. If you know what I mean. And I don't want to break people's sims. Head in the cockpit, see what's going on here, make sure everything's still in the green. And oil pressure's up, temperature's up, vacuum's in the green. I just heard somebody. Uh-oh. Everybody seemed to disappear. Interesting. Well, let me do a real trick. Like all of a sudden, just everybody poof gone. Something like that. I mean, it's like I went from Tatooine to Jakku. I have no doubt that... Yep, there you all are. Well, that was it. That provided a little bit of interesting excitement. Meow. That was a weird, weird little error. What gets me the most about the lighting and the clouds and whatnot is just the dynamic of having the ground surfaces cloudy and then having areas of the ground that don't have shadows cast on them, just the contrast. It gets me every time, and even the cloud casting shadows on other clouds. It's amazing. Just so good looking. I'm in constant disbelief about it. And then you get right angles like this, which I can only assume that maybe something will get like that will get addressed in some sort of world update. So as we get closer and closer, we are on our way to let's see, field elevation. is 287 feet. That's an awesome shot. Excuse me. Good night. Got quite the crowd tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus me, 8, 9. 9 or 10 of us, give or take. Yeah, about 10 or 11. But we should be going to right up in here. Well, there's the back of the seat, or the front of the seat. "26 miles or so, well, 25 and a half, a little under 15 minutes. Things still in the green. Ooh, pardon me. It's not intentional, I assure you. Absolutely stunning. You gotta wonder what this is. Maybe some water purification or something. Interesting. So, from what I'm reading, it's possible that this isn't necessarily water, but it's supposed to be salt, or at least in this particular area. Not entirely certain. What I did was I just changed service or went to a different server for a little bit, kind of let it kind of even out, and then I went back to East USA and it fixed it for me. Because I had the same problem happen. Cool. Interesting. So I wonder if it only has water seasonally during like the rainy season. Shot L Dread. Dreld? Dread? I've probably butchered that in several ways, but it's a service I provide for free at no extra cost. Kind of weird being fairly clean shaven again. It's been a minute since I've actually fully shaved. Is a large and salt lake in southern Tunisia. The name can be translated from the Arabic into English as Lagoon of the Land Palm. Interesting. Home of the Wicker People. I don't know why that popped into my head, but it certainly did. If you know what that movie's that from, you get bonus internet points. Schmutz on my monitor. There. Schmutz be done. More schmutz. Where's it all coming from? Alright, so how far out are we? 6 minutes. And we probably could drop 1,000 feet. I think we have the plane in sight. In fact, we do, and it has lights. How about that? So I will try to land first, get into the drone cam, and watch everyone else land. And if I remember it, I'll put the name tags on. So I'm going to go ahead and descend 1,000 feet. Ish, because field elevation is, if Sim Toolkit Pro wants to cooperate, like 600, almost 700 feet. 287. I was way off. So we'll go to 1,300 feet. Rate of 500 feet per minute. That should put us into a pattern altitude well before, or well enough in time for the landing. Okay, makes your forward throttle back just a little bit so as to not overspeed. Gonna switch to heading mode. And to get lined up with the runway a little bit better. Go to 270. Evening out. We're on a 5-mile final. Soon as the PAPI lights register that we're on the glide slope, we'll disengage the autopilot and hand fly it in. See the town. And we're on glide slope, so I have the airplane. So we'll reduce power. Make sure that we trim appropriately so that we lose the airspeed that we need to. In order to land. Bunch of flaps. Back on center line. Notch 2. Throttle a little bit to get down on the glide slope better. Roger that, Allison. Good. That last notch of flaps. Called the wind right, so we'll reduce throttle, start our pullback for flare, constant pressure, maintain center line, 117 foot per minute, not too shabby, under 40 knots, flaps go up, we'll use some manual braking and get off taxiway. Strobe lights are coming off. We're off the active taxiway, or runway, I should say. So I'll park it right over here. Keep the engine running. Parking brake on. General traffic. Stay back. Zoom. Scotland and chilled Corky already down. So we missed 2 landings so far. Well, we missed 3, but Allison was ahead of us. First up, we have Warhamster. In the Baguette Mobile. And down. Very nice. Next up, we have Dangerous Brian. That's fair enough. Fair enough. Very smooth there, Brian. Very smooth. Well done. Who do we have next? Merlin Flyer. Nice spacing, by the way. Very well done on everyone's part as far as spacing. Very impressed. Wants a limited amount of flaps. And touchdown. Very well done. We have Andy Brown coming in with Dougal McTavish close on his heels. And we're down. We have Dougal coming in for landing. Dougal's going around. When in doubt, go around. And here we have instructor Two-Tone Murphy with student pilot, the wonderful Mrs. Two-Tone, was very kind to share Murphy with us. Doing a wonderful job on approach. While on power management. Very smooth. Very nice. Very nice. Well done. He might just have. And we got Bodip. Bodip. I butcher names as for free service. Mrs. Two-Tone has her own cheer squad in the chat, and that's awesome. I approve. Very well done. And Dougal. Take two. We're committed. And touchdown. Very nicely done. Nice landings by everyone. That was just awesome. Let's see, we can get a final count of how many we have here. So far. That's just the first leg. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of us. Yeah, 9. I can count. Believe me. Fair enough. To turn off name tags. Check my water supply. Good. Okay. So we go back into the cockpit. We look at our Garmin GNS 530 and 430. Go to flight plan. Select a little button. Don't hit that button. Use the big knob to scroll down to there. We do this and we go to our next waypoint, which is Delta Tango Tango Foxtrot. Delta Tango Tango Foxtrot. Here to accept. Gonna be on that leg now. Then I pop over to Sim Toolkit Pro. Get that ready to go. Let's see, flight planning. She sure did, and she did a fantastic job. I hope that she joins us for more legs, because the more the merrier. You just might have to rent out your rig as a timeshare for, or she might have to, you might have to build her own rig now, because she's very welcome along, and the more people flying, the better. Oh, Tango. Zulu to Delta Tango Tango Foxtrot. We are on East USA, Peter. So fit 5 6 9 7 Echo. Back to the night speed. Fly now. Oh, I get the feeling she's got the bug. She might deprioritize the room that shall not be named in favor of a computer rig so that she can do her own flying. It's a possibility. You never know. So that's good to go. That's good to go. Double check Navigraph. We're not going to. But we're going to. So, the winds appear to be basically coming from the west. So if we look at the diagram, airport diagram for the next stop, we should expect runway 23. But now, if everybody is ready, while I'm thinking of it, give myself, I'll roger that. Kitchen and sim pit, I'm gonna need a second job. Well, just think of it. The streaming could help for that. I mean, the more people that can fly, the merrier. See, Murph, this is what you do. The missus gets a whole new computer for her flight rig, and then the junior gets the Xbox, and then you could have a whole flying family. All right, so we're going to bump up the throttle a little bit, release the parking brake, and we're gonna taxi ourselves to runway 27. Gosh, it's nice having toe brakes again. Proper toe brakes. Hey, I like the sound of it. In the immortal words of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, make it so. On an active runway, so landing lights come on, strobe lights are on. Appears we have someone on final. We'll move ourselves off to the side of the runway. Guess I want to go to the other side because that's where the pad is. I'm more than happy to wait for him. So I will just we'll watch the landing from this angle. See, here's an idea. We have the base two-tone Murphy paint scheme, right? Well, I think it's time to diversify that. Have one with orange wingtips for the training squadron, and then get Mrs. Murphy one with pink wingtips. Very smooth landing from what I can see. All right, I will taxi into position and hold. I'll wait for everyone to get to the end of the runway. We got a Baron with us. How about that? Fancy. Couple more coming off the taxiway. Cessna Elephant Walk. Two more. Alright, well, while we're sitting here and it's getting kind of dark, I'm going to turn some instrument panel lights on. How about that? Alright, seems that we're here, so... Although I think I just turned on the parking brake. I certainly did. So, we're going to throttle up. Well, we're very happy to have you along, Mrs. Two-Tone. And you did a fantastic job. And you're always welcome along. And it's even nice to see you getting involved on the Discord. So, very well done, and can't wait for your next flight. It certainly has. So I didn't even use flaps on that takeoff. The more I use these new pedals, the more I like them. I'll just say that. So we're going to start a casual left-hand turn while everyone gets airborne and situated. The red and green Christmas lights are out tonight. Right, and it seems that everybody is up. I believe. Certainly looks that way, so we'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot. Going to 3,500. Go ahead and activate nav mode. And be sure, everyone, to go on Discord, onto Murphy's Discord, or even mine, and give a congratulatory message to Mrs. Two-Tone. She deserves it. She did a fantastic job. And welcome her, give her a words are difficult. Say it in English. Give her a warm welcome into our little community. And thank her for sharing Murphy with us, because we do appreciate it. You're more than welcome. You're very welcome. I do have some automated messages that I have set up. One is for my link for my Discord, and the other is to remind everyone to stay hydrated, because hydration is key. Hydration is important, and especially when flying or getting involved in computer gaming, it is easy to forget to eat and drink. That is why I keep a nice handy water bottle, which I hope is approved by Mrs. Two-Tone. It's very much pink. I needed some color in my life because I use a lot of olive drab, black, and a little bit of red, some blue. But having a nice bright color in my life is kind of nice. But having a water bottle on hand keeps me hydrated for the flights. Delta Tango Tango Foxtrot, correct. It is a short hop. But that's okay. Well, we'll leave that on. Okay, we'll set cruise power. Now that we are at cruise altitude. Everything is hunky-dory. So this airport is situated between two ridge lines, which is interesting and kind of neat. And shouldn't be that long of a flight. So it should be up in this area up in here. And we will expect runway 23. So we'll go parallel the runway, make a base leg, and then turn final. Sure that SimToolkit Pro is doing what it should. Hey Keen, how you doing? We have two more stops. We just took off from Delta Tango Tango X-Ray, or excuse me, Delta Tango Tango Zulu, and we are heading to Delta Tango Tango Foxtrot. So we have two more stops. And we are in Tunisia at sunset. I believe my current in-sim time is 17:21 hours local. We are running the big and bold weather preset from SoFly, available on orbex.com. just to make sure that it works. Well, how about that? It does work. Although we are never minding the information since we are not running on real weather. We're expecting runway. So if Star Wars didn't do any filming in this area right here, I would be shocked. Because that seems a prime place to do some filming. You know what, Brian? I think I forgot to hit the light button, but I don't know if it'll let me either. But I appreciate you mentioning it. If you do like the content, feel free to hit the follow button on Twitch, the like button, and or subscribe button on YouTube. It means a lot. But it's optional. You don't have to. You can sit here and be like, I don't like this content. I'm not going to do anything. And you know what? That's fine. You are free to do that or not do that. But it would be appreciated if you did. Even if it's out of spite. And even commenting, liking, disliking, it all favors the algorithm. See, you know, I think it started with me, then it was Dougal, now Allison's got everybody disappeared. It's just like it's Thanos. Thanos is out here just picking us off one by one each time. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the state of that. My goodness. Look at that. That's just crazy. See, to me, this is kind of like a setting in the Old West, just with airplanes. The group flies away from the sunset because that's what cool people do. In search for new adventures. $25 nautical miles out. I think that might be the... Well, that's a little too far off course. That may not be the runway. It might be. Huzzah! Actually, that might be the airport. See, I think it's an unfair advantage having a lighted airport in the middle of the desert where there's not a whole lot of lights. It's a lot easier to pick up on where an airport is. Not that I'm complaining. Epic Fool, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it greatly. You're very welcome along. It's all good, Cat Bat. Glad you made it. And don't forget to throw in a guess for how hard or soft my landing will be. The person closest to it wins it. It doesn't really work for YouTube, unfortunately. It does only work on Twitch so far. In fact, I'm not sure of many chatbots that actually do work with YouTube, because they do streaming a little bit differently. I feel like I should play the theme to Magnificent Seven or Bonanza. Murphy predicted a really smooth landing at 35 feet per minute. That's 2 entries. You better believe it. We don't have that long until we're there. You have to do, if you do Canadian Taz, welcome along, do exclamation point, predict, and then space, and then just 85, and that should get you an entry into the algorithm or the chatbot thingamabob. No, you need the word predict after the exclamation point. PREDICT. That predicate. And there's no space between the exclamation point and the predict. It's all good. It's just a fun little thing for the chat. Dun 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 dun. So close. And the sun goes down. All right. That's definitely the runway, so we're going to fly around and then come back in. So we'll go back to Sim Toolkit Pro. We'll open Navigraph. We'll open chart. Need to fly a heading of 05, which is not terribly far off where we're at currently. But we'll switch over to heading mode. So that just seems off. So we're going to go to 040. So heading mode 040 degrees. The field elevation is 1,060 feet. So we're going to go ahead and go down to a pattern altitude of 1,001 or 2,100, I should say. As we're 8 miles out. So mixture to rich, throttling back to not overspeed. It's almost like the sim has this runway as a 0422 instead of what Navigraph is indicating as a 0523, which is interesting. So again, I'll try to be the first to land. I'll get parked up, turn the name tags on so that I can catch everyone's landing. Or at the very least, as many as I can. As we fly over this lovely town. I do, in fact. Not a whole lot just as of yet, but I am working on, I have a few ideas for some more. I just have not gotten to designing it as of yet. There we go. So we got 3 guesses. We have myself with -91. We have Murph with 35. We have Canadian Taz with 85. And soon we'll see just how much of a disappointment I am when it comes to the landing. We're in right downwind currently. Just remember to give me a little bit of time to get down and parked. And we're going to go ahead and let's see, 04 0. So that I can get my name, turn the name tags on and get into the drone camera and get into position. I'm going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot. Got a couple notches of flaps in already. Gonna really reduce the throttle here. A bit high on the glide slope. Goes to idle, we start the flare. A little too hard back. Murph with the closest guess. Can't believe I got that was 17 feet per minute. Okay, we're looking for the taxiway. We'll get parked up and then we'll open the... Oh no! Boo on crash to desktops. Let me get parked and then we'll open the runway for landings. Parking brake on. General settings, traffic On, apply. Back, zoom. Insert key for drone cam. We have Andy Brown down. And off the side of the runway. First up is looking like Alley Cats. Right on the center line. Ooh. Beautiful. Well done. See who's next. As we see, we've got Catbat, Merlin Flyer, Dangerous Brian, Fast P-84, Scotland 737, Dougal McTavish, and Two-Tone Murphy. Along with Bodip. Bad Dog's down, Andy Brown is down, Alley Cats is down, Canadian Taz. Like Fast P-84 will be next. I sure hope you remembered your gear. There it is. Very nice landing, my dude. Looks like Dangerous Brian next. Brian on a nice stable approach as he approaches the runway. Over the piano keys and the number. Power's cut. And we're down. Beautifully done. Next up is Scotland 737. And we're down. Very nice. Next up is one and only Dougal McTavish. And we're down. Very well done. Next up, Merlin Flyer. Nice job on the spacing, everyone. Very well done. We're going without the landing light. Very well done. Good job. Got bow tip, almost missed his. Very nice. Now we have Canadian Taz inbound. Nicely done. Now the pressure's on for Two-Tone Murphy. Over the numbers. There we go. Smooth as a baby's butter. Next stop is Delta Tango Tango X-Ray. So for the sake of expediency, we'll take off on runway 05. As I go back into mine airplane. Check engine settings, everything's good, feels good. We will go to the Garmin. We will go into flight plan. Hit our little button, use the big knob. Go down there, and we'll do that again because we've hit the wrong button, and we'll scroll over. I believe that is the correct ending. Yes, it is. Delta Tango Tango X-Ray. Enter. And activate leg. By all means. This is a fairly longer. This leg is about the same length as the very first leg, so I would not blame you. Go into Sim Toolkit Pro. Delta Tango Tango Fox to Delta Tango Tango X-ray. 8 from route. This is approximately 94 nautical miles. And at 110 knots, it's approximately 34 minutes. So, it's it. Oh, I missed all the letters. 5. Echo. Okay, that's ready to go. Navigraph. Chart. Quick. So if Mr. Two-Tone is going to be in the Air Mariachi, I think we will go ahead and begin our departures. So we will be taking off on runway 05. That's not... We'll turn the taxi light on, turn off the strobe light, because that's going to be distracting us. There you go. Well, we'll stay in the pattern for a little bit. Whilst you load. Okay, entering an active runway, so landing lights are on, strobe lights are on, taxi light comes off. Line up on the runway. We double check our directional gyro, make sure it's synced. What happened, Warhamster? Okay, mixture's full. Slowly advancing the throttle. Well, I won't stop you. Okay, there's 50 knots. Airspeed's kind of alive. 60 knots. 1 notch of flaps going down. And we're airborne. Okay, that's 300 feet. Flaps are going up. We're going to do a left-hand pattern to wait for everyone to get airborne. Turn that little screeny bob off. So we see War Hamster. Brian, Scotland, and Dougal. Bad Dog. There's Murphy. Catbat's up. I think for this leg we will leave the tags on because why not? It's a good dog. Okay, we'll turn left. Bad Dog's entering the active runway. All right. So we will go ahead and turn on the autopilot. We will go to 3,500 feet at a rate of 500 feet a minute, if it'll let me click on it. We'll arm nav mode. Bad Dog's up off the ground. Andy Brown, Canadian Taz, Warhamster, Alleycats, Merlin, Dougal, Catbat, Dangerous Brian, Scotland, Fast Pete, the leader, Sean, and everybody's gone. I'll give it a minute for it to sort itself out. Or we'll just do what we did before. Back to east. Zoom, thank you. This is the second time it's happened, so don't worry too much about it. It's just kind of a weird glitch. Swapping service had fixed it before. Quite right. So if I go up here and try this. We'll give it a minute. And switch back to okay. Now I've got name tags and I'm behind everyone. Or, well, I guess not everyone. So I'll go ahead and turn the name tags back off because enter the cockpit. Don't need the landing light on now. No, it is not. It's currently at 18:05. We're just going to do this last leg as a night flight because night flights are fun and challenging. It's okay. It happens. Of all the issues that we've had in recent weeks with Flight Sim doing strange things, I can handle I can handle everyone phasing out of existence for a brief moment in time. I may also need to reboot my modem. It's also a possibility that Asobo and Microsoft are doing work on servers. Because who knows? I didn't expect a self neck rub to feel so good. Oh boy. Oh look, there's white stuff on the grass outside. And I'm not talking about cocaine. It's snow. We've got snow. I do hope that Warhamster and Murphy are in the tricolored, or at least the Irish color air mariachis. Because I could be wrong, but I'm not sure if the military style air machi has the formation lights. I could be completely wrong. I know that the aerobatic version does. Aha. Yeah, here we get actual snow, and it's the first of the year. At least it waited for Halloween to get out of the way. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Ah. Well, we caught up with somebody, and we're about to. Pardon me, coming through. I guess I am at rental power. I can back it off a little bit. Well, you probably go ahead and kill your landing light. Unneeded. Oh, we got someone up high. Groupie viz. Now, if I consult the chart, I don't know. We should be okay on terrain. So I think for the sake of the stream, I'm going to at least check. Yeah, we'll be good. So I've moved time back to 5:38 p.m. At least we didn't go any further south. That would have made life really interesting, really fast. Ooh, we're getting some bumps over these ridges. I certainly did, and that is the inspiration of this whole trip. Because The Mandalorian Star Wars and the original Star Wars had many desert scenes, and those desert scenes were primarily filmed in Tunisia, which is where we were flying. So, yes, I need to watch it again. No spoilers, please, for those that have not seen it. I know of some of my friends that are waiting for the whole season to drop, which I wish them all of the best to avoid spoilers and such. But I need to watch it again because I need to soak it in. But from what I actually recalling the story, it was pretty good. It's definitely interesting. Looking forward to what season 2 has to offer. Ooh, it almost looks gloomy up ahead. This is the way. I thusly extend the question to you all. Have any of you seen the new episode of The Mandalorian? And have you seen season 1? And if you have, what did you think? This should have been good. I will check it out right now. Oops. Ooh, I'm liking that. Oh no! Very nice. Very nice, Allison. Dougal, make sure that double check your Windows updates for any security updates that has a tendency to cause some consternation. Wow, that's gloomy as all get out. I'll tell you that right now. Season 1 is great. Awesome. I agree 100%. Well, that's not working like I thought it would. Ooh. Go back to that view for a second. Love the first season. Have episode 1 ready to go. I'll watch it later. Watch it after this. Very good. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it, and I won't spoil it. I honestly think that The Mandalorian is really carrying the Star Wars franchise right now. Although I'm hearing good things about Star Wars Squadrons, the new video game they put out. Kind of a spiritual successor to Rogue Squadron and that series of games, which I enjoyed quite a bit. Um, so yeah. And after watching the the documentary series they did on how they made season 1 of The Mandalorian, was just impressive. Just with the way the techniques they used, and a lot of it was groundbreaking stuff, and really cool. I also recommend watching that if you're into the how did they do it kind of thing. It definitely looks good. And I'm out of water. Go with my emergency caffeine source. Don't mind my auto statement. Ah, dribble. Let's check the gear real fast. Sure everything is good to go. Got 50 nautical miles, 25 minutes. Power just add. Do. Excellent. It is Delta Tango Tango X-ray. Now, I definitely won't hold everyone else to flying at night. However, I like the challenge. And I think the new night lighting looks fantastic. Downside is we're in the middle of the desert and there's lots of places with no lights. Not a problem, my friend. It is. But I think it's even more enhanced, more so enhanced with the new system that they introduced for night flying. Just whatever it is that they did, it just made it look so much better. Lukester 911 is now following. Much appreciated, my friend. You're welcome along. Hope you enjoy the flight and the content. If there's biscuit tins in shops, that means it's Christmas. I saw a biscuit tin in a shop today, so it's Christmas. See, here in the United States, we still have Thanksgiving coming up. So we've got two holidays. And at the very beginning, I was playing some copyright-free Christmas tunes, which perhaps we can Yep, Turkey Day. That's kind of how Thanksgiving works over here in the United States. It's basically, that trial run. We turkey, except turkey is definitely for Thanksgiving. Christmas is in my family's always been more towards ham, although I think we've had turkey too. My family's never really done the Christmas goose. The most common goose here where I'm at is the Canadian goose, and they're a protected species, but there's a million of them, and they're mean. I like to call the Canadian geese invaders. Of course, in Michigan, they don't have to go far to go back to Canada. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has different ways of celebrating. Look at that. Look at that town and how it just glows. That's just cool. Sorry. Distracted. Squirrel. It's my hydration reminder. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And how it affects the clouds that are up high and get more of the sun for longer. That's just incredible. Oh no! Not the hamster. F's in chat for Warhamster. Hey, your specs. Yes. Warhamster Sim didn't like Tchaikovsky. Oh no, not the Murph maneuver. That's a tricky maneuver. Uh-oh. Yep, that terrain wins every time. Those mountains, no matter how many times I try, will not move out of the way. Those mean old mountains. All I want to do is fly, and they just keep popping up. RDW77 is now following. Much appreciated, my friend. I do greatly appreciate it, and I hope you're well. You're also welcome, very welcome along on the flight. The ISS. That's kind of nuts, if you think about it. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hope you're well. I'm just trying to set up an old joystick. They're not too bad, depending on the kind you get. I have this very old Microsoft Sidewinder joystick that I used to fly with Flight Sim 98 with, and it still works. It's the sensors aren't the greatest, but it does function. Cytec X45, there you go. I had the X52. Although I haven't tried it with this, I haven't tried it in some time. I'm not even sure where it is right now. You take care, Keen, and we'll see you next time. I hope you keep safe out there and don't study too hard. I have a Logitech Kyo on main flight sim PC, but on racing rigs sometimes buy as well. Yeah, I get that 100%. Some of those racing rigs work well for both flight simming and for flying. The one I built, I made my own, used to work real well, but I've grown disenfranchised with it just because it's very bulky, very heavy, and very cumbersome, and my current setup doesn't have a lot of room, so I had to stow it away, and I'd like to redesign it at some point. Oh dear. Dougal McTavish with the intercept plan. do believe this is the moon out there, but look at that sky. It's just amazing. It does appear that we have our group is catching up with us. I mean, even the reflections of the light illuminating the horizontal stabilizer and the reflection of the horizontal stabilizer in the rudder and the vertical stabilizer. That's amazing to me. It's a little thing. There you are. With the intercept. It's just those little details, it's nuts. So we're probably going to expect runway 33 for landing. Plus, we're still 20 miles out, a little under 10 minutes. That's all good. So, just under 19 nautical miles, 9 minutes. We're getting close to this is the city that we want. I'm kind of interested to fly over the Mediterranean a little bit and check for the nighttime reflections that they say that they've added. Since we do in fact have the moon. Rising on the horizon. Rising on the horizon. And the airport is close enough to the coast that we should be able to get a good look at it without deviating too awfully much. Let's see, the airport elevation is 85 feet. How appropriate. So that would put pattern altitude at 1085, or for the sake of the autopilot, 1100. So what we're going to do is we're going to overfly the airport a bit, fly over the Mediterranean Sea a tad, and then we'll do a right-hand turn to enter the final approach for runway 35, is it? 33. Runway 33. Just be sure to give me enough time to get down, land, park, or get down, park, shut down, get the name tags on, and get the drone camera set up to watch everyone's night landing. Or at least it'll be night on my screen. I won't hold anyone to fly at night, but I'm going to be at night. That'll give a new perspective on, or an interesting perspective on landing. Or 10 miles. Dropping in on you for the last little bit. Awesome. Welcome along. We're gonna fly out over the Med a little bit on our way to land at the airport. See if we can't see some of the nighttime water reflections that they've added. Let's see, we're going to set course heading mode. At 070. See. I can't math. 3-3, that'd be. Math is fun. So we're overflying the airport, which we should be coming up to shortly. Whoa. In fact, there it is right there. We're going to fly out this way a little bit, do a nice right-hand turn, and come in for landing on runway 33. Gives us a chance to overfly the city a little bit, see how the Mediterranean looks with the new lighting. And have a grand old time watching everybody land. So we're about to overfly the airport now. It's right there. We're going in for runway 33, which will be from this direction. You'll want to go out over the sea. Maybe the reflections would look better. Of course, they'd look better during the day, but they didn't update it during the day. They did it at night. So I can only assume there should be an island right there. That should be the reflection of the moon. So we're going to overfly the city. Make a right turn to 150 after we get past the city. And then we'll get into a pattern land, and I'll try to catch everyone's landing. You can see the little bits of traffic roaming around down there. Yep, that's got to be the moon. So that's pretty cool. Not the greatest representation, but we'll have to sort that eventually. So turning right, 150. We'll take this down to 11 feet. Okay, do another right turn to 240. That just seems odd. So we're just gonna cancel the autopilot altogether. We're going to throttle to idle. And turn our landing light on, as well as our taxiway light. Adjust our pitch to slow down. Put another flap in. Keep an eye on our altitude. Speed's good. Extra seconds. Trim accordingly. Go ahead and start turning final. Go ahead, start adding some top. Quite a bit of altitude. Good. Trim accordingly. You're good, Jim. I appreciate you stopping by regardless. I am well, and I hope you're well as well. And I hope your band is doing well. Just coming into final on the last stop of the evening. A little bit of a night landing, because why not? Add power in because we're low. Just pitch. Hey, Ed. Thanks for swinging by. I appreciate that. I hope you're well. We're on glide slope, so we reduce power to normal levels. A little high on glide slope, but that's okay. We're actually on glide slope now. We have our target. Target. Stay on target. I'm going to start our rollout now. Reduce power to idle. Try to stay near the center line as much as possible. Constant back pressure on the yoke. Keep that nose up. That was a little rough. 116. Not terrible, but not great either. Slam on the brakes. Take this first exit. Landing light, strobe lights off. And park off to the side here. Oh no. I'm gonna blame the gremlins. Okay, so we set power. Avionics off. Lights are coming off except for the beacon. We're mixture back to idle. Cut off. Mags off. Beacon off. Master switches off. Drone camera activated. Give me half a second, folks. Gotta turn name tags on. And speed this bad boy up. All right, and the runway is open. You're quite welcome, Ed. You're very welcome. And I thank you for joining us. First up is Allison. A very nice and stable approach. We have ailerons in the wind and Scotland already on the ground. Very nice landing, Allison. Very nice. War Hamster doing a go around and a flyby in the Air Mariachi. Like next up is Cat Bat. I believe Warhamster pulled a Murph maneuver and crashed, if I recall. Very nice landing. Missed yours, Mr. Brown. Sorry about that. The old meme is, I think it's from an old Call of Duty. There is a funeral scene, and the prompt was press F to pay respects. So it's kind of become an internet sort of culture thing. We've got Dangerous Brian on tap. Very nice. Very nice. A little bit of grass clippings along for the ride. Next up we have Dougal McTavish in the Baron. Beautiful landing. Beautiful. Bad Dog with a go around. We have Sean coming in. Well done. Very well done. Next up is Warhamster. And not a Learjet. And we have touchdown. Next up is who is next? It looks like it's Canadian Taz. What happened to Canadian Taz? So we have Merlin Flyer inbound, then Fast P84, then Two Tone Murphy, then Bad Dog with attempt number 2. Like Bad Dog Muncher is coming into land next. Oh, I don't know what happened to Canadian Taz. Got Bad Dog with a nice approach. A little high. Bring her down nice and gently. Cut your power. You're down. Nicely done. Nicely done. I guess so. As we have Merlin Flyer. Casual float to the ground. And we're down. Very nice. Next up, Fast P84. This time in the 172. Very nicely done. Two-Tone Murphy in a not Learjet. Went for the Navy landing. Think you got the third wire, my friend. Last but certainly not least, I believe, is Hawk Driver 101. nice. You just went for the Navy landing, and you pulled it off nicely, Murph. It was firm but effective. Looking good. Looking good. And that ground effect. And we're down. Very nice. So most of us are over here. We've got a handful elsewhere. We've got ailerons into the wind up in the pattern. Yeah, thanks for swinging by. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next time. We're going to see if we can't capture ailerons into the wind. Very nice night flight. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dougal. I appreciate you stopping by and watching and participating and flying. Thank you, Andy Brown. I do appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, lots of fun, Allison. Glad you enjoyed it. Aileron turns left onto base. And right into final. Well, left onto final, technically. We didn't find old Ben Kenobi, but we had fun along the way, and that's what's really important. That'll do it. That'll do it. And ailerons with a very smooth landing. Very well done. So with that being said, I do appreciate everyone stopping by. And I really appreciate those flying along. It's November, folks. The year 2020 is almost done and over with, and we can put it behind us. It's the start of a new week. Let's make the most of it, make the best of it, most importantly. No matter what happens, we still have Flight Sim, and we can still hang out on Discord, and we still have a great community, and we'll stick together and we'll get through this. Appreciate everyone. So until next time, be good to each other. Stay safe out there. We'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.